Okay, so hi everybody. Anybody watching this? I'm Leah Marcus,
I'm Nicole Semmens.
and we are both advanced trainers in something called the Nurtured Heart Approach. We've got our shirts on, and we just wanted to record a little conversation about what the Nurtured Heart Approach is in a nutshell, and how it has served us right now in this pandemic, and how we want to help people going into this school year with a course that we're offering. It's going to be 3 weeks, 6 sessions, Wednesday evenings and Saturday afternoons. You can find out all the details at peaceinaPandemic.eventbrite.com. But yeah, Nicole, do you want to give a little nutshell description about what Nurtured Heart is first for anybody watching this?
Wow, no pressure.
No
That
pressure.
infamous question of the elevator pitch. Thanks so much for asking, Leah. I see how curious you are. Leah, I don't know how to answer that question in 1 minute. I hate that question. Nurtured
It's
Heart
a
Approach.
lifetime thing.
It is, exactly. It's a lifetime thing. And it's not something you can really explain in 2 seconds because, we could say, oh, it's rooted in the 3 stands, which is about not energizing negativity and recognizing everything that we see going well and being really clear with our limits and boundaries. But when you say that, it just sounds so simple. And yet it's really not. It's really not. This is something that we use daily, and it challenges us daily, even as certified trainers, right?
Yeah,
and yet it's been a total game changer for both of us in our lives, personally and professionally.
right. And we each learned about it, came to it from different places. I came to it as a therapist originally. You came to it as the mama of a struggling kindergartner. And it's a body of work that was originated by Howard Glasser, who was a therapist working with really intense, challenging kids and families. And it has since just blossomed into something that is really about relationship. And so if you have a relationship with anybody, including yourself, there is something in it that can be really transformative. Even in a very short time. There's aspects of it that feel very common sense, like, oh my gosh, of course, why didn't I think of this? While at the same time, aspects of it feel almost revolutionary in terms of a lot of the kind of dominant cultural norms and ways that we approach behavior and discipline and just interaction. And
not just with children though, but with adults too.
Absolutely. Yeah. So what was I going to say? I don't know. But I want to know from you how Nurtured Heart has impacted your pandemic life, and
oh my gosh,
how you've used it, how you've brought it in, which might be hard to kind of tease out.
I know, that's a loaded question. We've been hunkered down since March. I don't even know how I would have navigated up to this point if it wasn't for Nurtured Heart and all of those strategies to help me stay grounded, to help me stay regulated, because this has been a really stressful time for so many of us. 1 minute our kids were going to school, and the next minute, I got a call saying, hey, they're coming home today and they'll be home until further notice. Wait, what? Using the strategies of this approach have really truly helped me stay grounded for myself, but also for my family, to try to keep that stress at bay.
Mm-hmm.
So we can use those reservoirs of our energy in a way that it makes sense, because we could use all of our energy complaining about so many things as it relates to this pandemic, right?
There's so much intensity in the home, in ourselves, in the news, in the world.
Yeah.
Anytime I've talked to my circle, my social circles, oh my goodness, everybody, that's all we talk about.
Yeah.
If we're not careful, it takes over everything. And so what I have loved about Nurtured Heart is, I historically have felt really threatened by like big emotions or a feeling of like intense energy, whether it's coming from within me or from somebody else or a situation. But with this paradigm, I don't feel threatened by that anymore. I have been able to come to see it as fuel to help to fuel my choices of, okay, here's the situation. I'm not pretending it doesn't exist, but what do I want to do with it? What do I want to use this fuel for? Do I want to blow up, or do I want to, you know, propel to some other way of thinking about it or way of responding to it? And that's so empowering in the situation where so much has been taken away from people. We don't have our normal array of choices, coping skills, outlets, escapes, whatever. And so we've got this free floating, churning energy sometimes that doesn't know what to do with itself, and it's showing up as like way worse behaviors at home from our kids, or we're snapping at each other, or it's just hard, or we are going to sink into despair and just go totally numb, and that doesn't serve us either. So yeah, for me it's just been this recentering force of getting back into whatever power I do have, to really know that and to choose what I do with it.
That was beautifully said. I like how you were talking about, so many things have been taken away from us, and you included coping skills in that. And just speaking to that really quickly, I think for me, the nurtured heart approach, those are my coping skills. They're not only my coping skills, it's the way I function now, but thankfully they are my coping skills. So when I'm able to really remember what this approach is all about and how we can navigate any situation, it's so empowering. It's okay, I can handle anything. I can handle anything because I get to choose where I'm going to put my energy and where I'm not. That's up to me. It doesn't matter what the circumstances are. And that's something that I'm working on teaching my tween daughter and my teen son, because they're at an age, I got a 12-year-old and a 16-year-old, and it can be really easy to start instigating negativity and feeding off of that and whatever. And, it's really a gift to be able to teach children how to be empowered and how to navigate even the most challenging situations. I mean, this summer has not been, the best summer. Challenges.
Yeah, to know that we can notice the worry, honor the worry, and then use the energy of that worry and aim it toward acknowledging all the amazing ways, for example, my 6-year-old son has adapted to all the changes, or not being able to see his friends in person, or learning how to live on Zoom a little bit. That feels so much more active, and it feels protective against my, tendency toward, depression or anxiety. It is so, another thing that comes to mind is, for us at least, we're sort of living more or less the same day over and over. And so it's this kind of the difficult side of being in the moment, because it's like, wow, I don't like this moment. This is a hard moment to be in every day over and over. It's like weird Groundhogs Day kind of thing. And then with the nurtured heart lens, I kind of think of it as a lens. We can see, okay, wait a minute. Let's zoom in on facets of this moment, aspects of this, to see the progress that I have made in adapting to this, or in my work, or in whatever character I'm building in myself, whatever character qualities. Those aren't wiped clean every day and then I start over. Those are building. And so, really looking at what is that and how can I amplify that, to honor whatever I have been doing with this process, rather than like it's the same day over and over and nothing's getting any better and there's no light at the end of this and I'm screwing up everything. It's like really that doesn't help me. That doesn't help me parent my
Right.
son,
Right.
So that resetting of that lens has been huge too.
Yeah. One of my favorite quotes is, what you see depends on what you look for. And it sounds so simple, and yet it's so true. If you choose to see all the crap going on in our country, in this world, with this pandemic, all of it, I mean, you're going to find it. You're going to find it. I could talk all day long about it. But if instead I choose to focus on, well, what blessings have come out of this? What good stuff can I honor and recognize in my kids, in my family, in myself, in other people? There's so much.
There's so much. Yeah. And that doesn't mean like we ignore all this stuff, but by acknowledging, by kind of locating ourselves in that as, look at all that's going well, all that we're choosing well, all that we're able to still muster the courage to do, even though there's all this going on. That equips us more to be able to actually impact that stuff that's so difficult, that all the stuff that's going wrong. So yeah, I don't know.
Well, I know we could talk for hours. We usually do talk for hours about this, because even though we teach it, we love it, we live it. And I feel like every time we get together, Leah, you and I are talking about the latest and greatest with Avery, your son, or my son or my daughter or whatever. It's a blessing. So even though in some ways this pandemic has made every day kind of the same, I think thanks to Nurtured Heart, every moment isn't the same. Every day isn't the same, because, what am I looking for today? Oh my gosh, look at that. My son took the laundry without being asked. That's amazing. That's initiative. I love it. That definitely doesn't happen every day.
But that builds that. So then our children get this sense of like, I'm a person who contributes at home. I am a person who is resilient. I'm a person who can get through a pandemic.
Yeah.
And know who I am. And so, it is the Nurtured Heart approach is kind of about changing the whole climate, the overall climate. It's there are strategies in it that can transform a moment, and it's also kind of the long game. It is something that lasts way beyond just putting out fires in the moment and getting to bedtime. It's about really kind of seeing it's a supercharged way of really seeing people for who they are deep down, help them remember that, to help us remember that, so that we can be as connected as we can, which right now it feels more important than ever to figure out creative, true, deep ways of connecting and remembering that we are all in this together.
We are. Yeah.
So, again, our link to our event, our 3-week class, which starts August 12th.
Yeah.
Registration is open through Friday, August 7th, 2020. And the link is peaceinaPandemic.eventbrite.com. And we want to help you find peace in a pandemic that is lasting and enduring beyond whatever this next school year brings. Oh my goodness, because I don't know. But I love having this tool, this really, really powerful set of tools on the side. So anything you want to add that I'm forgetting?
No,
I'm excited for it.
I feel like I would be a hot mess if it was not for this approach.
I was going to say, like, this did not come naturally to me. I grew up so anxious, and so like my energy was all directed inward to like anxiety and perfectionism and all of this. So when I learned this, I think some people see me parenting now and they're like, oh yes, it was very like Zen, and it's like, no, this is this has been such a lifesaver because I have not always felt like calm, cool, collected, or empowered. And I don't know about you. I don't want to speak for you, but this
Well,
is,
go ahead.
it just is. This is not for people who are already chill. Okay, it's for people who are really overwhelmed with either their children's behaviors or their relationship with their partner. I mean, there's this the energy between people is really under-examined and underused, and so this is about how to kind of make the most of that as well.
Yeah. I think, one thing I love about the fact that you and I are doing this together, Leah, is that our energy is very different. You said that all of your energy was inward, anxiety, whatever. And mine is all like this, and it always has been. And when I was a teenager, I was that don't mess with me. Like, my energy was just loud and probably obnoxious. And it was, there's something about this approach that's just helped me channel that. So it's not about me not being me. It's just, okay, so I have a lot of outward energy. I have a lot of passion. And, this approach has helped me kind of use that as fuel, like you said earlier, and channel the best parts of that energy of mine so that I can give it out to my children, to my husband, to strangers on the street.
Yeah. Not about turning everybody into zombies or getting rid of
No.
this beautiful intensity that people have, either inward or outward or both. It's about how do we use that really well in the service of relationship.
Yeah. It's about helping us be the best versions of who we are. It's not about trying to be anybody else.
Mm-hmm. And acknowledging every little baby step toward who that is. I mean, right now, a lot of people's best is like just getting out of bed, making it through the day. And there's so much even in that is worth celebrating.
Absolutely.
That's what we want to bring starting August 12th through the 29th, Wednesdays and Saturdays, and peaceinaPandemic.eventbrite.com. We would love, love, love to have you there. Thank you so much. Bye.
Bye.